My biggest message is to be proud to be Jewish. Blatant lies. Israel's doing a genocide. Israel's an apartheid state. Crazy. It's such...
Do you ever feel like it brings to question your own authenticity? You sometimes lose the ability to be critical?
Go to Israel. It is the farthest thing from an apartheid state. On social media, it's quick. There's no waiting. 800 followers on Instagram, and in a year and 3/4, I have over 250,000 followers. It's crazy. Social media takes you everywhere.
Know that if they really want to be successful, they have to fully commit.
Destroyed. I'm talking like hundreds and hundreds of DMs, thousands and thousands of comments, people sending me death threats.
Welcome back to another episode of Candid Minds with Dr. T and friends. I am Dr. Tamir Aldad, addiction psychiatrist and the CEO of Mindful Care. With me today, I have my good friend Yechiel Jacobs. Yechiel is a well-known comedian and advocate who over the last couple of years has really gained traction with his work and comedy across many social media platforms. Yechiel, thank you for joining me today. It's great to have you on the show.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
So over the last couple of months and years, particularly since October 7th, you've produced a lot of great content. And you've been doing a lot of advocacy work and using your comedy to spread awareness and do good. I'm curious a little bit about what has happened and how did you transition to that so quickly a couple of years ago?
So yeah, this all happened. This is all new to me. Super new. This all started for me around a month after October 7th. October 7th happened. Before October 7th, I didn't have any public social media. I had a personal Instagram account that I just posted going out for dinner with my grandma, like random stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then October 7th happens, which changed so many of our lives. And I was seeing so much content that was so anti-Israel and anti the Jewish people. Before Israel even responds to October 7th, I'm already seeing people say the craziest things about Israel, about the Jewish people. And I was filled with, I think anger is the best way to explain it. I was so angry, and I wasn't seeing any responses to these videos that I felt justified or put them in their place. So I decided, let me make a video on it. I'm going to do a video on it. I did this out of a position of frustration. And I make my first video, and I decided to use humor as a way to make a video, because that's what I'm familiar with. As I was growing up in school, I was like the class clown, and I did impersonations by the Shabbat dinner,
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to make my first video, and I post my first video, and it explodes. I wasn't expecting it.
Remind me, which one was your first video?
So my first video, it's this woman, and she's like, if you have Ben Shapiro and Amy Schumer on your side, you're probably on the wrong side.
Oh yeah,
that one.
Yeah.
And then I respond, I'm like, if you have Hamas, ISIS, and the Taliban on your side, you're probably on the wrong side. And then I go into like a whole just very quick, but just kind of like letting it out.
Mm-hmm.
And that video gets 500,000 views in about 3 days, and I'm like, that's crazy. So I started making more content. My second video passes 1 million, and since then I've just been putting out as much content as I can, defending the Jewish people, defending the state of Israel, and all the lies that are out there, because there are so many lies out there.
And as you started producing the content, were you getting a lot of hate and kind of a lot of negative attention as well?
Yeah, in the beginning, I had a point, probably like a week in, where I got discovered by the other side,
Mm-hmm.
and I got bombarded, like destroyed. I'm talking like hundreds and hundreds of DMs, thousands and thousands of comments, people sending me death threats. My mom got reached out to by someone saying, we're going to find you guys. Like crazy things happened. It got very, very heavy, and I got to this position where I'm like, do I want to continue doing what I'm doing? Or should I stop, because it could be really dangerous, or it could, I have no idea what this could lead to. It could be really bad. And I ended up making the decision that I'm going to full send it. I'm going to full send it. I truly believe in what I'm doing, and what I'm doing is the right thing to do. And if I stop doing it, I'm giving it to them, and I'm letting them win.
Mm.
So I went even harder. I started posting more. I got more creative. I full sended it. And I haven't looked back since then, and I don't regret it for a second.
How did you handle that? Because I could tell you a lot of our listeners, it's really important for them to be well-liked, and criticism is hard to accept. And there's a lot of self-criticism and self-doubt as well that could be triggered, particularly if someone says something to you that you yourself are already insecure about, and they expose that, right? And then that can kind of compound. Did you feel vulnerable at all, and how did you navigate that yourself?
So I definitely felt nervous, and like I was definitely being criticized, and it was heavy. It wasn't so much, I didn't care about the death threats in the sense of like, oh, they don't like my content, or they think what am I doing the right thing? I had no doubt in my mind what I was doing was correct. So I think knowing and being confident in what you're doing is the right thing to do really helps as far as, you know, the criticism didn't bother me in that sense. It bothered me for safety and for the well-being of my family.
Sure.
That was the main thing. But thank God I also got a lot of love from our side, a lot of love, and I was able to use that love as like fuel to do what I'm doing. So, you know, I definitely got scared in the beginning as for like safety wise, and obviously still concerned now. You have to be careful. But when you're confident in what you're doing, you know it's the right thing to do. Criticism is less bothersome. I guess that's the best way to put it. But when I criticize, for example, if I get a death threat, which happens quite often, it doesn't faze me. I see it, I move on, I'm doing my thing, whatever. If I get someone who is like, hey, big fan of your videos, on your last video, I don't think you did so well, or you're not as funny, that bothers me. That hits me hard. Because when somebody that you're trying to, you know, cater to, or people that you are supporting you, it's like constructive criticism almost is a lot harder for me to take than someone saying, I want you to die and I'm going to kill you.
So that's the idea that when the person's opinion matters, it hurts much more.
Yeah.
Right? And that's kind of, you value these people's opinion, particularly if it's the audience you're trying to reach. So,
yeah.
So that makes sense. As you've been growing and blowing up, how have you managed a strong work-life balance? Because I feel like this work could really suck you in.
Yeah, it's so I'm not so balanced right now. This is like really like my whole life, and I'm okay with it. I'm really okay with it because I've been given an opportunity where I've gone from 800 followers on Instagram, and in a year and 3/4 I have over 250,000 followers on all platforms from nothing. So and I see that as a huge opportunity, and I don't want to be balanced. I want to full send it and grow as much as I can. I'm really focusing on my material. I'm focusing on my content. I'm focusing on my comedy shows, appearances. And I really want to just grow this as much as possible because I know I'm giving this golden opportunity. So I'm not balanced, and I'm okay with that. You know, like I'm aware. And obviously I have my life, I have my family.
Sure.
And you know, obviously I spend a lot of time with them. I do trips and stuff, but my whole day is content, and I'm happy with it. Not everyone in my family is. You know,
Sure.
sometimes obviously you get too much, but that's just what I am. Actually, I met with somebody. I was speaking to him, and he kind of gave me like a reality check. He's a big guy on social media. And I was trying to get like advice like on what I should be doing. He says, this is your 9 to 5. When you look at this as like really a job, not just a hobby or you have a funny video, this is really your job. You work from 9 to 5. So treat it like a real job. So once he told me that, it kind of changed gears, and I've just been like going very hard.
Wow. Yeah, it's that can apply to a lot of people that are trying to pursue something and are scared to fully commit, but know that if they really want to be successful, they have to fully commit, right?
Yeah.
And crossing that chasm is it's frightening and it's intimidating. So the fact that you've been able to finally, you know, take that leap of faith and trust in yourself and believe in yourself is a huge step in the right direction. So that's amazing. Talking about balance, it makes me wonder, when people see your content, do you ever get criticism that it's very one-sided, or questioning your ability to empathize with everything going on in other communities affected by current conflicts?
Meaning, for example, Ukraine and Russia, or anything else.
Yeah. Do people feel like you have a very one-sided agenda and question your ability to, if it's Ukraine and Russia, if it's Palestinians, if it's other communities that could be suffering as well?
Well, yeah, I'm sure I get messages all the time from the other side. Like all the messages from the other side is you don't care about the Palestinians, you're a baby killer, you have no. But for me, number one, I care deeply. I care very much, and I care about my family more. I care about my family in Israel. I care about my family being held hostage. I care about my family's well-being, like any person in the world would. So as far as other conflicts, other conflicts going on around the world, that's, of course, I care about these things, but I care about my family way more, like any other human being would. And this directly affects me. And I think Jewish people around the world and Israelis around the world, this is our family, this is our home. So of course it's going to affect you more. And of course it's going to be, you know, you're messing with my family. Of course I'm going to go way harder on this, and I'm going to pay way more attention. I'm going to go do way more digging, more research, really go into it because it's my family. So I think because to the answer to that is like, yeah, sure, I'm definitely more on that, but for a good reason. It's my family.
And do you feel that this work that you're doing has it built connection between your followers and your viewers? Do you see like uh, in the comments, is there a sense of community that you're building as well, or does it feel very kind of one-sided where you're just pushing out content and everyone's consuming it on their own?
There's definitely a sense of community. I love I love that I got known through this because I got known through something of like real meaning. I've been able to make so many people smile and laugh during one of the most difficult times in modern day history, specifically for the Jewish people. So there's a certain connection that people have with me through my platform, through my page. That's beautiful. Like I meet people all the time, and they say thank you. They don't want a picture. They don't want to. It's just thank you so much. Like there's a real connection there, and I feel really lucky to have that. And I'm able to use that for like it makes me feel amazing that it's really being used, and it has a positive effect on so many people. So I'm very happy about that.
No, and you are doing great work. What's interesting with comedy, especially when you're hitting on a very sensitive topic that affects a lot of people very differently, how do you feel you've managed being sensitive to some of the issues that you create content about while still infusing comedy throughout?
So it's a very fine line between, making light of a situation and making fun of a situation.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're dealing with a situation that we're dealing with October 7th, with the war going on in Gaza, with Iran now, there's a very fine line between, okay, this is, he's bringing out some good points and it's very funny versus you're completely disrespecting the situation. It's very serious. There are people dying. What are you doing?
Right.
So I've been able to navigate, thank God, and I think my content's been doing so well because I navigated so well, where I'm able to make people laugh and I'm able to drive a point home where I'm making people laugh, but not at the situation. I'm making them laugh at the situation that's disrespecting or the situation that's lying about what's really happening. For example, on the pro-Palestinian side, there's a lot of lies going around, blatant lies. Israel's doing a genocide. Israel's an apartheid state, which if you look into it, it's craziness. Mm-hmm. Go to Israel. It is the farthest thing from an apartheid state. There was an Arab judge who literally put an Israeli Jewish prime minister in prison,
right?
Like using the Israel justice system. And you want to tell me there's an apartheid in Israel against Arabs? It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
So to use those crazy lies that are going around, but I use the humor to expose it. And also the beauty about humor, which I learned through doing this, it wasn't like I had a master plan and I'm pursuing it. I'm just going with the flow and seeing how things are happening, is that humor, when you're dealing with such stupidity and crazy things, when you use humor, it's such a great way of throwing it to the side and then bringing a point home. Because number one, it captivates so many people. Everybody likes to laugh. And number two, if you respond to something that's so blatantly stupid with a serious conversation, you're almost justifying them and giving them like a platform to have a debate. But if something's so stupid and use humor to bring out how stupid it was while bringing a point home, it's like the perfect mix.
Like you expose it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you ever feel like it brings to question your own authenticity? Like, do you ever feel like you're so committed to an agenda and you know the talking points that you sometimes lose the ability to be critical?
You're saying to be like, I'll be more like biased towards
your talking points, you know your audience, you know the right thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever feel like you're on autopilot, or do you still find yourself able to be objective when something happens and you're analyzing a situation?
So I find myself being on autopilot sometimes. I'm doing this 24/7.
Right.
And so many of my videos, it's the same points I'm bringing home, but with different humor, different jokes, different punchlines. But it's the same point I'm bringing home. Israel's not doing a genocide. Israel's not an apartheid. Israel's not doing. It's basically defending so much, and I'm using humor to switch it up. I definitely feel sometimes it's on autopilot, and I feel it gets draining. I have points where I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm sick of saying the same thing over and over again. Like I'm sick of it. People are seeing it for the first time. Great. For me, I'm doing it over and over and over again. But the news that's been going on is constantly changing. There's so many things happening. There's a lot of things to be on top of.
No shortage of content.
There's no shortage of content, not at all. You go do a deep dive on TikTok on the other side, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So that definitely helps me, keep the fire going. And the biggest thing is I truly believe in what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something that I'm being paid to say, or I feel I'm doing this to get like hype and all that stuff. It's something that started from me feeling angry and frustrated with the situation.
Yeah.
and wanting to stand up and say something, and that's what it is. So that's like the biggest like motivation for me, and it keeps me into it.
Yeah, but to even reflect on my own question, I think sometimes I need to do a hard reset because I know as a psychiatrist what my textbook answer should be to a situation. I know what my position should be as a psychiatrist. And most often I will automatically give you the correct answer as a psychiatrist, what I should think and how you should handle a certain situation. And there are times I look in the mirror and I'm like, do I even believe what I'm saying? You know, and am I was a researcher for many years. I sometimes tell myself, you know, put on your research hat and be critical of this. Does this data make sense? Do these graphs make sense? Do you believe in these statistics? Like, don't take everything for face value. So I do find myself sometimes having to reset. Otherwise, like you're saying, you're like on autopilot because you know you're just programmed to know what to say, when to say it, how to say it. So I think it is helpful sometimes to like pause and just make sure that you're calibrated again.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're not just firing out what you programmed yourself to do. So it certainly is important. How do you come up with your content ideas? I know that like the news just feeds it to you, right? There's no shortage of stuff. Like you said, you go on TikTok, you turn on the TV. There's a ton there. But what translates that into like a satire that you could use to create content? How do you go? What's the process you go through to create that?
Process is I wake up and I do a deep dive on TikTok, and my TikTok actually thinks that I'm on the other side because I want TikTok to feed me what's going on the other side, so I can see what they're talking about, what's popular there, and then what I can respond to and expose. So I go on, I find a video. I find a video that I like. I find a video that I feel like this is crazy. I always find the more extreme it is, the better it is. The better it is to make fun of it. The better it is to drive a point home. So I find a video that I like, and then I get in my car. A lot of times I'm in my car, I do my content in the car, and I just start talking. And things come to me, and jokes will come, or a point will come, and I'll just start doing things. Some skits are more thought out. I'll have an idea. I know it needs a little more planning. It's a little more acting. There's more props involved, and I'll set it up properly. But for the most part, and I think the beauty of it also, it's like I'm just a guy in a car just saying how I feel. You know, that's just that's how it all started.
Do you have to take like a lot of takes of these of the content, or you usually nail it the first time?
It depends. To get it all in the first try is not common. But it's I'll have the idea, and then I'll say it once, and I'll be like, I think I can deliver that better, and I'll video it again. And a lot of my videos, they're cuts. So it's like a minute and 30 seconds. But from that minute and 30 seconds, each cut, I've videoed 10, 15 times, finding the perfect way to deliver those 10 seconds. And I'll put it all together where I feel like
So a 30-second clip in real life takes how long for you?
A 30-second clip, on average, it depends on the video, but on average, a 30-second clip will probably take me anywhere. Of filming, probably about 45 minutes to an hour.
Wow. And
then editing now, I've gotten so used to it, it takes me about 10, 15 minutes. So we're looking about on average about an hour and 20 minutes for a video.
It's a lot of work. No, that's impressive. What would you say is the ultimate goal here? What's your game plan?
The game plan right now is to grow as much as possible, to keep growing on social media, keep getting more and more following. The following right now, social media is so valuable, and there's a lot of value in having a following. And so growing social media, I'm doing comedy shows, which has been amazing. I did my first comedy show probably about 2 years ago, and I did my first show. I did it at the Laugh Factory in LA.
Awesome.
A 10-minute bit. People were seeing what I was doing on social media. They're like, hey, you're a funny guy. You want to come to the Laugh Factory and just open up for 10 minutes? And I'm like, I've never done stand-up comedy in my life. Like, okay, let's do it. And I did it. I did a 10-minute bit. I prepared for 2 weeks, and I got on stage and I did my first 10 minutes, and I absolutely loved it, and it was amazing. I'm like, I need to do more of this.
How did it go?
It was amazing. Amazing. It was good energy. Everyone was laughing. It was so cool. And then about a month later, I headlined at the New York Comedy Club. Nice. And I did 2 sold-out shows back-to-back. They both sold out in the first 2 hours of posting, which was that was the moment for me when I'm like, this is something. Like, something very big is happening. Yeah, I'm like, this is unbelievable. And then since then, I've done about 40 shows. I've traveled the world, you know, doing comedy shows. And my comedy shows, it's very different doing stand-up comedy and content. 2 different worlds. Content is very much 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone has a very short attention span. It has to be funny, quick to the point. Stand-up comedy, first of all, it's all live. There's no retakes.
Mm.
It's 45 minutes long versus a minute and 30-second video, and it's just, you know, you need time of waiting. You need time to wait and then deliver a punchline. Versus on social media, it's quick. There's no waiting. If I wait and then deliver, no, everyone's skipping to the next reel.
Right.
So it's two different worlds. So to like kind of figure it out, it's been pretty cool.
Yeah, no, awesome. Congrats on all that
Thank
success so quickly too, which is it's a testament to the work that you're doing and how well received it is by your audience. Is there anything that keeps you up at night or that you're worried about?
The biggest fear is becoming irrelevant.
Mm.
And I think for everyone in the social media world, becoming irrelevant is the biggest fear. It's that's what keeps me up at night. Is, am I doing enough? Am I putting out enough content? Am I doing enough shows? Like, am I doing enough? So that's probably the biggest fear is becoming irrelevant, like fading away. And the last thing I ever want to hear someone say is like, "Oh, I used to see you on social media. Or you used to be like making jokes."
Yeah.
That, like, if I hear that, that's like, oof.
Like the one-hit wonder is when like
Yeah.
you see like Hanson. Do you remember Hanson the band? Or probably not.
No.
Yeah, like Spice Girls, like bands that only had 1 or 2 good songs,
Yeah.
and then you never heard from them again, right? So, I don't think that will happen to you. I think you're on.
Thank you.
You're on track for an incredible career.
Thank you.
And we look forward to following you and your success. So, all that is pretty awesome. What do you have up your sleeve? What can we expect from you in the next coming weeks and months?
Shows. We got a lot of shows coming up, God willing. Hopefully we're going to have, on the tour date we have in the works, but Florida,
Mhm.
shows in Florida, Arizona, South Africa,
Nice.
England, and obviously Israel. I need to do a massive show. Everything I've been doing is for Israel, so obviously I want to have a big show in Israel. But right now with Iran, it's making things a little bit complicated.
Yeah.
So
Certainly complicated.
that's on hold for now.
How did you get South Africa on your list?
I apparently have a following in South Africa. They reached out. They, hey, we'd love for you to come do a show.
Wow.
So it's crazy. Social media takes you everywhere. I did a show in Australia. I did 2 sold-out shows in Australia, other side of the globe, and
Right.
to 1,100 people sold out show. It was crazy. And again, this just showed, this is why I want to go social media so much, is because it's such a powerful tool. So powerful.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Is there a secret to that you feel that your clips that do much better than others? What is it about the more successful clips you would say that makes them as successful as they are? Are there patterns that you've noticed in the content you're creating?
It's a great question, because this is like sometimes there's a feeling I get like when I do a good video, I'm excited to post it, but it's not so true though, because I'm thinking out loud. Like I'll put together a video, I'm like, oh, this is gonna do so well, and like it's so funny, it brings really good points in, it's factual, it's this, and I post it, and then it does okay, and then I post a video that I'm like, okay, this is a funny video, I just saw this video, let me quickly riff something, put it together, and post it, and all of a sudden that like reaches through. I did a video on King Julian. You know King Julian from Madagascar?
Yeah.
He's like, are you doing it to meet you? You know? So that voice, I started this series of different characters as your driving instructor. Randomly, nothing to do with Israel, just funny videos. And
I feel like you could do that on Waze. You ever see the voices they have on Waze?
they have different voices.
Yeah.
They should do King Julian as a voice.
I was gonna say you could volunteer.
I should. And then I did King Julian as your driver instructor. Random video. I posted it. And it was okay.
You actually could, I'm not even kidding. If you go on Waze and you click add a voice, it tells you which 13 words to record.
Really?
And you would be the voice.
I'm literally gonna do this right after.
I'm gonna go show you after the show.
I want King Julian telling me to turn left.
It tells you how to do. It's real. People I have friends who have done it. Yeah, people
That's so funny.
Parents have done it for their kids. So you could definitely. It's not.
That's really
not
good.
even kidding. And then you can after this has nothing to do with the show, by the way. But afterwards, you download it and you send people the link.
Yeah.
And then everyone can download your voice to their Waze.
That's so good.
We're about to do this together. This is going to be our project.
No, that's so funny. And I'll do like so I could do like, turn left over here. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And then I could send that video, that link out, and people can use it for their Waze.
Exactly.
I have to do that.
We're doing this after.
This is brilliant. That's so good. That's so good.
All right. Yeah, nothing to do with Candid
anyway.
Minds with Dr. T, but if our listeners want to know how to do voices on Waze,
Now they know. That's good.
now they know.
That's gonna be very
But anyway, so you were doing the Madagascar voice.
It was a video I wasn't expecting to do so crazy. I wake up the next morning and it's like over 1 million views, And right now it's my most viewed viral video with 6.8 million views. Like it
Wow.
exploded. So you never really know what's going to take off. The secret sauce is not really a secret. It's being consistent, really being consistent, posting every single day consistently for the algorithm, for your followers. If they can rely on you as a source of, oh, Yechiel is posting today at 12. He always posts today at 12. Let me go on his page. He probably has a new video going on, and you're like reliable. That's one thing is consistency, quality of the content. You can be posting consistently, but you have horrible content no one wants to see. It doesn't help. So you need good content, consistent, and then you just have to, and then God. I mean, God first, and then
there you go. Yeah.
But being consistent with good content over and over again is the only way to do it. And it might take a year until you have a video that just pops off. You might get lucky like I did and just right off the bat things just go. But just being consistent and being good at what you do, and you get better also. So
yeah,
I've seen a huge difference. I recently did a deep dive into my Instagram, and I went all the way down to when I started. Now I'm watching my videos, and I'm like, wow, these are terrible.
You've seen how you've grown.
Yeah, I've seen like the first videos. I'm like seeing the editing is bad, the accent's not on, it's messy. Versus now, I like my videos a lot better now. But you just learn, and it could be in 10 years from now, look back at these videos now and say the same thing. I hope I do. That means I just got better.
100%. And I know a lot of people access your content to escape a challenging reality. It doesn't matter whether they live in the diaspora or they're directly affected by different conflicts. Humor certainly helps them, right? And we know this, and research supports this. I'm curious, for you though, has doing this been therapeutic?
Absolutely. This is all. I'm so lucky because it's literally one big. It's like how I let off steam. That's how it started. I started off angry. I started off frustrated. I started off feeling there's not enough videos going around like fighting what's going on. And every time I post a video, I'm like like someone's doing something, or like I feel like I really like this video was bothering me, and I just took him down, or like. And I'll give you a great example. There was this guy on social media. His name was Guy Christensen. And he posts like really very anti-Israel. He spreads a lot of propaganda, a lot of lies. And he has 450,000 followers on Instagram, and he really spread like really, really bad stuff. And matter of fact, during the DC shootings where the 2 Israelis were murdered, he posted a video saying, I do not condemn the shooter's actions. What he did is justified, and I agree with him.
This is the guy that was just taken off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this guy did the whole thing on this. I took my platform. I made a video on him, and I've done a lot of videos on him, like in a funny way. I took a video. I went straight, like very, very serious, and I did at this guy. The video is about 750,000 views, and a bunch of people did videos on him as well. The video that I did was one of the more viral ones that went out there, and 2 weeks later, he's banned on Instagram and Facebook. So now there are 450,000 people that are getting their information from somebody who's openly lying and openly supporting murdering Israelis is now taken down. So that was awesome. For me, that's big. He's still on TikTok, which is a problem, but Instagram was a big win.
So do you see yourself as inspirational to some people in terms of being able to, if you see something, being proactive and doing something about it? We talk about in depression, a major depressive disorder, there's something called behavioral activation, where even if you don't want to, you should get up and you should get dressed and you should go for a walk and you should leave the house, and things that are normally routine for you, you should go ahead and do because it'll pull you out. It'll help pull you out of the depression. And what's interesting about what you're talking about is if you see something, roll up your sleeves, get your hands dirty, get in there. Do you feel that that's a part of your message to people too, that go out there, advocate, say something, speak your mind? And are you trying to empower people too?
Yeah, I think for sure. I would love if people take that away from seeing my stuff. That would be awesome. That's what I do for me. That's what works for me. And it's also not for everybody. And not everybody, as far as what I do is very out there and open. Some people aren't comfortable doing it. Most people aren't comfortable doing it. But you can do it in other ways. And also not just in this, in life in general. Like being proactive is extremely important. Things won't happen if you're not. My motto for myself is, if it makes you uncomfortable, do it. That's what I like to live my life by that. And things that really not uncomfortable as in like, oh, I'm gonna be embarrassed by it, but more uncomfortable like I'm nervous. Like in the back of your head, like if something's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And so if you know something's the right thing to do, but it makes you nervous, definitely do it.
Do you have an example of something that you pushed through, like you bulldozed through when you knew it made you uncomfortable?
Comedy shows.
Okay.
So nervous. The second he asked me, like my heart dropped to my stomach. And the reason why it dropped so much is because I knew it was the right thing to do. I'm like, this is such an opportunity. If I don't do this, I'm going to kick myself after this. Like,
I thought you were going to say the podcast.
The podcast also. I'm pushing through it.
There you go. Exactly. Muscle through that.
Yeah.
Oh, but so the comedy show, listen, the Comedy Cell that's like a legit place that even many people started their career there.
Yeah,
right?
it's been awesome. Yeah, it's been. But yeah, in general, I think in a lot of things, in work, I do real estate. I bought my first house at 19 years old. Super nervous about doing that. I took all my savings, everything I had, and I put it into this idea. But if it makes you nervous, do it. And I think that's how I live my life. And if you want to do extraordinary things, you have to do things that are extraordinary, and that's what I do. I think that's what everyone should do if you want to be something. And some people don't want to be. Some people are very happy where they are. And that's totally fine. For me, my personality, I wanna do things. I want to be special. I want to do things more. So.
Do you look back and think of that you would do something differently?
Thank God, throughout my life. I mean, I'm young, only 24, but any opportunity that I've had, for the most part, that I could think of, I've taken, or I've tried at least. So I don't have anything that I would have done differently, or so far things have really been working out.
And how about looking forward? Is there anything you're grappling with right now that you want to do, but you're kind of second guessing maybe doing?
I actually had an idea to start a podcast.
Okay.
I had an idea to start a podcast. I got busy now, and it's a lot. Now, in the beginning, I wanted to start a podcast. I was too nervous. Now, if I want to do I want to do a podcast, I'm not nervous at all. I'd love to do one. I would just go for it. But now, I just don't know if it's actually what I want to do now anymore. But starting a podcast was something that I wanted to do. But I was also nervous to. Also, I was using this character on social media. I don't talk like this in my videos. I talk like this. Like, this is what's happening. You're an idiot. I'm doing this. Right. I'm kind of playing this character who I'm behind this character who's expressing how I really feel, but I'm able to use this character and humor. A podcast is more real. It's bringing out the real side of me. And only kind of relatively recently, I've been showing my real personality on social media. Not just the humor, but also who I really am, just speaking my regular voice. So the podcast, what made me scared about the podcast was, I'm actually there's no character to hide behind. But now I'm okay with it because I've done podcasts and doing things like this with you,
right? Where
I enjoy, and I'm kind of also learning myself, like talking with you and doing these things. I'm able to see, this is the real me. This is actually how I sound or how I think.
So, do you ever get to relay a message to your audience? I mean, what would you want to tell them that if they're watching your content and they feel connected to you but don't really get to know you? What message would you give them, and what would you want them to know about you?
My biggest message is to be proud to be Jewish. It's my biggest message, is being proud to be Jewish, because this all started from wanting to defend my family, from wanting for myself, out of frustration of seeing these people belittle us and all these horrible things that were happening. It all came from a feeling of passion and feeling. So the biggest thing for me is be proud to be Jewish, keep smiling, be happy. It's so important to be happy. And humor is an amazing way of making people happy, making people laugh, making people smile. I want my page to be a place where people go when they're just having a bad day, and you scroll on my page, and 3 reels in, you're smiling. And for me, that's amazing, absolutely amazing. It's the best feeling in the world when someone comes up to me and they say, I have not laughed since October the 7th, and your video is what made me laugh since October 7th. That's something that I get so often, and it's amazing, and it makes me feel so good. So keep smiling, be proud to be who you are, be proud to be Jewish, and full send it. We'll send it.
I love that. I love that. And Yechiel Jacobs, thank you very much for coming on the show today.
My pleasure. It's over already. This was really enjoyable.
Yeah, hearing your story and the work that you're doing, I salute you for it.
Thank you.
I wish you much success in the future.
Amen.
As you continue spreading awareness and spreading joy to a lot of people.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you on another episode of Candid Minds with Dr. T.